Tropical weather on Friday means football on Thursday. North Augusta, South Aiken on a special Thursday edition of Game Night Live.
Welcome to Game Night Live. WJBF Sports presents local high school football live in your living room each Friday night. Game Night Live is powered by McDonald's. I'm loving it. And now, your hosts, John Hart and Ashley Brown.
The calm before the storm here in Aiken County as we try to get this one in before Ian arrives in South Carolina. A special Thursday edition of WJBF Sports Game Night Live, North Augusta and South Aiken. John Hart joined as always by Ashley Brown and AB. These are two teams that haven't started the way they wanted, both 1-5, but you can wipe the slate clean tonight. They're rivals, but region play starts tonight, most importantly.
Well, and I think the records are a little misleading, especially for South Aiken. Their 5 losses are to teams that are combined 24-4. They can put points on the board. We know that. The question is, can they stop North Augusta? They're giving up 44 points a game, but they might have the best dynamic duo in the area in sophomore running back Javon Edwards and their outstanding junior quarterback Terrence Smith. I can't wait to see those guys go at it.
And that brings us to our 4 keys to the game.
Yeah, tonight, definitely look at the keys to the game. Contain Terrence Smith. Obviously, that's a little easier said than done. He is already over 1,000 yards in 6 games. And establish the run with DJ Curry. Use short passes to control the ball and keep South Aiken off the field. That's what they've got to do. And then for North Augusta, I think they've got to, that was for North Augusta. For South Aiken, my apologies, shifting over to the I think they've got to make it a fast tempo, up tempo game. Make it a track meet because they can score. And I think they need to pack it in on defense and force North Augusta to have Colson Brown throw the ball. I think that's a real key for them tonight.
And again, this game originally scheduled for tomorrow night. Pretty much every game in the CSRA moved to either Wednesday or Thursday due to the forecast for inclement weather. So a little special treat on a Thursday for us now, and down to the field for the coin toss.
All right, guys, if y'all want to introduce yourselves, shake hands, that's perfectly fine. All right, guys, y'all been elected captains for tonight's game, so we expect to have good sportsmanship, good leadership out of it. You guys set the tone for tonight's game, all right? I'm Joe Hightower. I'll be your referee for tonight. I got Mr. Bert Sanford, Mr. Skip Broom, Mr. Kenny Touton, and Mr. Bobby Mack with me tonight. Mr. Mack's coming up for the coin toss. All right, I got a tails, heads, tails. What would you like to call?
Heads.
Calling the heads. If I drop it, we'll do it again, okay? It's the tails. You've won the toss.
Want to defer.
You want to defer. That means you want the ball, correct? Which way would you like to kick?
I want to kick facing that way.
You want to kick to the scoreboard?
Yes, sir.
All right, turn around and stand right here. You guys white, turn around and stand in front of the referees.
Joe Hightower, our referee tonight, handling the coin toss. South Aiken wins the toss and elects to defer, so the North Augusta Yellow Jackets will have the football first. Kickoff is next on Game Night Live. Well, don't let the guys with no shirts on in the T-Mobile student section fool you. It is a brisk 65 degrees at kickoff here at the stomping grounds, but most importantly, a 20-mile-an-hour wind as the storm approaches. We'll see if that makes a difference here tonight. And as we look at it from the press box, it looks like both goalposts, the wind is blowing the opposite direction. So we'll see if that is a factor as we go forward. And as we get ready for the Burke Health kickoff, let's get you your coaches matchup, sponsored by Johansson's.
Yeah, we'll take a look first at the first-year head coach at North Augusta, Coach Matt Quinn. He was a head coach for 3 years at Westwood, was the region coach of the year last year in 4 AAA. He played at legendary Burns High School as well. Coach Hamilton, hard to believe he's already been at South Aiken 8 years. Before he took over, John, in the 5 years prior, they were 9-46, and in just his second year, he took them to the state semifinals. They won a record 12 games that season.
James Etheridge to kick it away for the Thoroughbreds. And a great turnout on a game that was moved up 24 hours. And away we go. And it will be returned. DeAndre Basket to the 25-yard line.
Well, we'll get a chance to see, what this North Augusta squad can do on offense. They really struggled all year. They scored 7 against Evans. They scored 7 last week against Strom Thurmond. They're only averaging about 15 points a game. But they're going up against a defense that, quite frankly, hasn't been able to stop anybody. South Aiken allowing 44.5 points a ball game.
Yeah, North Augusta getting outscored 162-91 so far this season.
And Colson Brown, the quarterback, getting looked at by Georgia Tech. Good 6'3", 200-pound, good-looking kid. And that's the key to North Augusta tonight. And that's DJ Curry. Now, John, last week the problem, he had a good game, but he fumbled twice. He's got to protect the football tonight in this big reaching matchup.
1,000-yard rusher last year. 13 scores in 2001 and back at it again this year, and a 6-yard pickup on first down.
Yeah, big, strong kid, but like I said, coughed it up a couple times last week, and I know he was kicking himself over those turnovers and losing a close game the way they did.
And you were really high on Brown coming into this season.
Yeah, I just felt like, and here goes Curry.
Cross the 40, a first down for the Jackets.
Yeah, you got to wrap him up, those big legs. Yeah, Brown, you look at him, you watch him warm up, he can make all the throws, he looks the part. Last year it was his first year in the system, and he was splitting time and hard to this is his team this year, and I felt like we'd see him have a breakout season, and it just hasn't happened. If he does get the offense going, throwing the ball, keep an eye on Talon Washington and Amari Wilcher. Those are his top 2 targets.
So 1st and 10, Jackets from the 42-yard line. And they'll try it again, and this time the T-Breds are up to the task.
Yeah, excellent job that time. It was
Landon Briatko, the first one in there.
Yeah, 6 foot, 220-pound linebacker. Number 54, kind of moved him up on the defensive end spot, it looks like. And
he and Jackson Briatko, kind of the Watt brothers of Aiken County football.
Yeah, got in there quick. Now, that's, like I said, been their Achilles heel, the defense, but they have played some really good offenses and really good opponents.
Curry again, and now the T-Breds stack him up, drive him back, another tackle for loss.
Yeah, good-looking sophomore, Jaquel Holman, makes the tackle. Where's number 8? And that's what you got to do. You've got to wrap him up and hope for help coming. He's hard to bring down. The first guy that touches him usually is not going to get him. And it's not because most guys elude the first guy. He just runs through those first tacklers.
Yeah, last week he got a lot better as the game wore on,
yeah.
too.
The dulcet tones of Nathan Edwards, our statistician, weighing in for the first time tonight. You'll hear from him throughout the game. The friendly confines of the South Aiken press box didn't allow space for all of us in the same shot to start the game, but that's going to be a big gain and a first down for the Jackets. Huge pass from Brown to Amari Wilcher.
Yeah, it was Wilcher. Nathan and I were wondering throughout the game last week why they weren't going to Wilcher more. He made a couple of nice plays, and there they find him on a quick route where he beat his man to the inside and is able to get a big gainer.
30 yards on the pass and catch from Brown to Wilcher. 1st and 10, Jackets into South Aiken territory for the first time at the 29. Yep. And back to Curry. Tripped up after a gain of 5.
Well, you don't want you've got to stuff him early. That Jackson Briatko made the tackle, but you don't want that second and third wave having to tackle him. You've got to get him at the line of scrimmage. This is, we saw North Augusta for a whole game last week. This is their best looking drive I've seen.
Well, it's not the way Matt Quinn wanted his tenure to start at North Augusta, 1-5 in his first season, but he knows what he's doing. He was the coach of the year in Region 4, Trip 4 Quad A when he was at Westwood. Took him to play at the playoffs 2 out of 3 years before coming to North Augusta. And another first down for the Jackets.
Yeah, Colson Brown kept it that time. He on that option read, he didn't keep it much last week. I think there were 2 times where he kept it, and that time he's able to pick up first down yardage. The guy they like to get the ball to right in the middle of your screen, well, a moment ago, number 7 is Talon Washington.
First down for the Jackets. Into the red zone for the first time.
This has become a big rivalry game year in and year out. I had a chance to talk to Coach Hamilton on the radio side earlier, this week, and that's what he said. This game is, no matter how good or bad either one of them happen to be that year, this game is always close. Last year, 15-12 was the final. South Aiken came out on top.
Second and 8. Brown looks to the sideline for some instruction. Curry will get it again. Pushes away toward the 10.
And getting closer to another first down here.
He will be about 5 short. So we'll bring up 3rd and 5.
Yeah, big play for the South Aiken defense. They've struggled all year. Chance to make a statement here. They've bent, but maybe they don't break if they can get a stop here and force a field goal.
Brown, end zone, touchdown. Tay Washington for 6.
Yeah, Tay Washington, I said he's the guy they like to get the ball to. His first touch of the drive, but it's a touchdown. There you see the North Augusta fans. They come wherever. This is a rivalry game, but they went to Strom Thurmond last week too. They support their team.
What an impressive opening drive for North Augusta.
It's the best I've seen Brown look this is the 3rd time I've seen him. Very solid on that drive.
Yeah, that's going to be there all night long. If they're going to continue to pack the box like that, they were playing straight up man-to-man on the wide receivers across the board with no safety help.
Jack Stevens on the point after, not to be confused with Jackson Stevens, the Braves reliever. Knocks it through. And North Augusta strikes first in this rivalry game in this region opener. 7-0 Jackets, 7 minutes to play in quarter number 1. Now the South Aiken student section still riled up here, but North Augusta marched 77 yards in 5 minutes, took 10 plays. And the Yellow Jackets with a 7-0 lead with 7 minutes to play here in quarter number 1.
Well, that's what they needed. A heavy dose of DJ Curry running the ball. He ran it 7 times. Colson Brown ran it once. And then the 2 throws were easy routes. The receiver one-on-one just having to beat his man inside. One for a big gainer and then one for a touchdown. You can't draw it up any better than that. And this is an offense, like I said, that's been struggling all year. So big opening drive for the Jackets.
Stevens with a short kick to the up man. And Jeffrey Jackson will return it to the 34-yard line. And now we'll get our first look at this South Aiken offense. And AB, as you mentioned, offense has not been the problem for South Aiken.
No.
Averaging 31 points a game, but that doesn't work when you're giving up 46.
Well, and they play a good Lexington team earlier in the year that they lost to. Quarterback Terrence Smith rushed for over 400 yards. He's up over 1,100 for the year with 14 touchdowns. He's averaging 12 yards a carry.
And we are excited to get our first look at Smith. And here he goes on first down. And North Augusta was expecting it.
Yeah, nowhere to go that time. A host of Yellow Jackets.
Like Colyn Moore led the charge.
Yeah, Moore was in there along with Jaquez Ryans. There's a look at this offense that can really score some points, mostly on the ground. They don't throw it a whole lot. When they do, they go to Jeffrey Jackson. But those 2 names on the left, T. Smith and Jay Edwards, those are the 2 guys to watch. Terrence Smith, the junior quarterback, you see him there. And right beside him is the sophomore running back, Javon Edwards. Rushed for 1,000 yards as a freshman on the varsity last year. And this year, I think 1,000 yards is kind of a formality, barring some kind of injury in this game.
Yeah, Terrence Smith averaging almost 200 yards on the ground a game.
Yep.
You'd almost never hear that even in high school. There he is, number 1, out of the shotgun. Tylen Creech, the man in motion, but it'll be Smith. And a couple more. Going to bring him 3rd and 6.
Lowered his head that time. You know, we think of him as his speed, and some of the runs he's had this year could certainly be on any highlight reel. And just going remember the Dion punt where he fumbled the ball in his opening first career game for the Falcons?
Oh, I remember.
You remember. He's had a couple like that where he fumbled the ball, picked it up, reverse field. The kid is just a flash, but right now North Augusta has stopped him pretty well on 2 plays.
Do I remember?
Oh,
Here's a big gainer. How about this?
Oh, there he goes.
Javion Edwards. He is gone for 6. 62 yards to the house. Touchdown, South Aiken.
Well, the difference, North Augusta took him 5 minutes. South Aiken took him 1:30.
We might have a shootout on our hands if this keeps up.
Wow, look at the speed from the sophomore. Javon Edwards, I was just saying, had 1,000 yards last year, approaching 1,000.
That puts him over 1,000 this year.
Yeah, unbelievable. And, you know, this kid, talking to Coach Hamilton, he told me a story. He said, let me tell you what kind of kid this is. 8th grade year, summer, coming up to do workouts with the high school during the offseason, about to be a freshman. He thinks everybody's gone. Practice has been over for a while. He walks in their locker room. Javon Edwards is sweeping the locker room out, and he's like, oh, they blocked the kick.
Yeah.
And he says,
so
did the
North
senior
Augusta will keep the lead?
He said, did the seniors make you do that? And he said, no, Coach, it was just dirty. You need to be clean. And he said, that is the kind of kid, that's the way he was raised. That's the kind of kid he is. He sets a great example for a lot of guys on this team. And, again, just a 10th grader. What a run.
Love that kind of story.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's just way too easy if you're North Augusta on defense. They ran a little bit of wasn't much of a counter, but on third and medium and long, and he didn't have to make a cut or anything.
Yeah.
That was just wide open.
And that's the problem. You can't key on Smith because you've got Edwards. I mean, this 1-2 punch is pretty special, and that's now, again, this has been their MO. They can score, but are they going to be able to get enough stops against North Augusta to pick up this region win tonight? That's the big question.
We shall see. And, again, region opener for both teams, so one team's going to have a foot in the door after the end of this game.
Yeah, you would think these 2 teams are the favorite in this region, maybe Midland Valley thrown in there, but out of those 3.
Yeah. Oh, you made it, Nathan, I believe it was you that made the point before we went on the air that in non-region play, all the teams in this region have a negative point differential.
Well, Javon Edwards, you said he goes over 1,000. That's his 8th touchdown.
So we'll see if the Jackets can answer. Again, on the return, it is L.J. Tillman. And Tillman with a nice return. He'll be stopped at the 25-yard line. And as AB said, again, the question for the South Aiken defense, can they get stops?
Yeah, they've struggled mightily, and, you know, you figured this might be a game where you've got a struggling North Augusta offense. Maybe you are able to keep it tighter, but, man, that first drive, North Augusta came out and really hit them in the mouth with a barrage of runs from Curry and a couple of nice passes from that man, Colyn Brown.
3 plays, 66 yards for the South Aiken drive. Took all of 1:24 off the clock. So we're still 5:21 to play in the first, and the Jackets with Colyn Brown back in the shotgun and DJ Curry standing next to him. And it'll be Curry. Made the first man miss and across the 30 to the 32.
They had him behind the line of scrimmage, John, but again, he's just tough to bring down. Number 8, the sophomore we talked about earlier, Jaquel Holman, had him, but you can't grab him. You got to wrap him up.
Yep.
And
last week, outside of the quarterback, no one else for North Augusta got any rushes. It was all Curry. So if you think for them to win, he's got to be over 30 attempts, I would believe.
Trips to the bottom of your screen, but smoke and mirrors. Curry, flag comes in.
now, well, it looked to me like the line of North Augusta moved before the ball was snapped. They didn't call that, but maybe they got a hold. I'm not sure.
Yeah,
it looked
Joe
like there was
Hightower
movement.
is our official.
Yeah.
And it is a hold, AB.
Yeah, like I said, that play looked a little weird because it looked like the left side of that line moved a little early.
Holding on the offense. Still 2nd down.
Apologies for the technical difficulties in the official's microphone. And again, it is very windy down on the field.
Yeah, this is a lot of the issues they had last week, though. They were struggling offensively, and they were hurting themselves with penalties and things of that nature.
Well, South Aiken may have just given the 5 yards back.
Well, one thing Hurricane Ian has done, and he has brought us football weather. That's for sure.
That it has. This is the first time I've worn long sleeves in
Well,
months.
my joke has always been it's not football season until you can drink some hot chocolate at the game. But, you know, that it got to be the point where you couldn't drink it all year. But now we've got some football weather.
Some of the back where they started are the North Augusta Yellow Jackets, and it's Jackson trying to get to the left side, and he'll pick up a nice gain, 8 yards or so.
So it'll be set up 3rd down there. Tay Washington with a short gain. Well, folks, you can mix and match 2 of your breakfast go-tos like a sausage biscuit, chicken McGriddle, sausage McMuffin, or hash browns for only $2.19. Top it all off with a bold and delicious iced coffee for $1.69. McDonald's, I'm loving it.
So 3rd and 3 for the Jackets.
Oh, and nobody was ready.
Nobody was ready. Ball is on the ground. I think North Augusta.
Either that or it was a trick play.
North Augusta's got it, but it's 4th down.
I don't know if that was a mistake or a trick play.
It
they
couldn't
tried to
have
run
been.
there.
The receiver was looking to the sidelines, and the quarterback was looking to the sidelines. If that were a trick play, it was awfully
It's the old, we're going to look like we're not ready play?
Yeah. But they snapped it to the guy you wanted to get the ball to, Curry.
Yeah, well, it just confused me because Curry seemed like he was ready for it. He was expecting it because he ran straight for it. A lot of times you see that just get snapped down the field.
You see the camera shaking.
And they're going to punt it away.
It is gale force winds up atop the stomping grounds here tonight. South Aiken will have the ball at the 18-yard line.
Well, as Nathan pointed out, that's North Augusta kind of shooting themselves in the foot. They got 3rd and short with a big bruising running back that has been able to get 3 yards every carry, and a miscue on their part. That's basically a turnover, although it does, you know, they were able to punt and get the ball downfield some. Big miscue there for North Augusta.
And a big break for South Aiken.
You'll take a 49-yarder on a night like tonight.
Oh, for
what
sure.
a great punt.
Terrence Smith, the junior engineering coach, said he was a receiver. They made a quarterback last year. He said this year Terrence Smith feels like he's a quarterback. Last year he didn't really feel like he was a quarterback yet.
This is Edwards, who had the 64-yard touchdown run on the first drive. He'll be stopped after 5 yards on his first carry of the second drive.
It's always fun. Like, I try to keep up with it as much as I can, but usually it's once they get to high school. I occasionally hear about middle schoolers. Didn't have a clue who this kid was, and last year he just burst on the scene, hitting for 206 and 195. And I was like, where did he come from? Tremendous, tremendous young running back here.
Give him 6 on first down, 2nd and 4. Smith will throw for the first time tonight. Completes to Tylen Creech, and he's pushed back close to the first down marker, and I believe he's got it.
Yeah, I think they're going to give it to him. Well, you saw the North Augusta had pretty good pressure there coming on Smith, and Smith might have changed that up. Looked like he was going to run it first and decided
nice
to
throw on the run,
dump it
too.
off. Yeah. The kid to watch on this North Augusta defense is number 99, and he was so good last week. He came on as the game went on, Jaden Eason, and he was the guy making most of the plays last week in their loss to Strom-Thurmond.
An affordable auto insurance first down for the T-Breds. And this time the carry is Creech. Tries a stiff arm and be pushed out of bounds after a gain of 2. We mentioned this, the region opener for both teams. South Aiken is the defending region champ. Now they moved into a different, not a classification, they moved into a different region this year, but they were the region champions in their region a year ago. And they made the playoffs 6 straight years. Both of these teams, by the way, haven't missed it. North Augusta hasn't missed the playoffs since 2006. So these are 2 blue blood programs in Aiken County.
Well, Chris Hamilton has really changed things and turned it around here, trying to create that tradition that you look for. We talked about that last night in our conversation, and he said that, John, a few years ago, he's not so sure his team could have handled a 5-game losing streak. He said, but now these guys, they've built this program where the guys are believing, they know what to look for, they know it's region play coming up, and they're pretty confident they can get things turned around.
I'm telling you, folks.
We're in a wind tunnel.
I just want to give a lot of credit to our camera folks on the top of this stadium tonight because the wind is picking up as we go. And you can see debris blowing on the field as South Aiken picks up another first down. Let's go down to that breezy sideline on our first Augusta Auto Auction sideline report. We check in with Bria Smith. Hey, Bria.
Hey, John. Yeah, it's been a great game with the Thoroughbreds and the Yellow Jackets. Their both record is 1-for-5, and they're going score for score currently. But I think some of that, excitement belongs to the cheerleaders. It is their alumni night. So we're here with two South Aiken alumni cheerleaders. Talk to me a little bit about how it feels being back here on the sidelines.
It definitely feels kind of weird being back. A lot is so different, but the same, honestly, at the same time. It's really cool, though, because I get to actually cheer with my mom and my little sister. It's her senior year, so it's a really cool event for us to be able to do all together.
Awesome. Thank you so much, and hope you guys enjoy. Back to you, John.
Always fun to see the alumni come back.
Definitely, without a doubt. And Edwards on first down picked up about 5.
And South Aiken near midfield as we tick inside the final minute of this first quarter. This time, Edwards bottled up. He'll lose 1.
Yeah, nowhere to go at all. Great surge up front. Jaquez Ryans, number 37, right there. And that's the guys to look for. Jaquez Ryans, 37, number 20, Colyn Moore, and then 99, Easton. Those are the leaders on that North Augusta D. So big play here, 3rd and about 6.
Thoroughbreds don't have to snap it again if they don't want to. And it appears that Terrence Smith will be content to take a moment and think about it. And that'll bring us to the end of the first quarter. So a back and forth first quarter. But at the end of 12 minutes of play, North Augusta leads South Aiken 7-6. South Aiken faces a 3rd and 6 as we begin the second quarter of play from their own 48-yard line.
Yeah, big play. They're not used to having to punt the football.
Smith will throw, swing it out on the right side. That's Jeffrey Jackson, and he'll have the first down across the 45-yard line.
I thought for a minute he ran towards the first down marker, and then he kind of cut it in. I was like, wait a second, get your first down. Jeffrey Jackson, their top receiver, although they don't throw it a lot, he did come into the game with 190 yards through the air.
Pickup of 6, an affordable auto insurance first down for the T-Breds.
Anything?
Well, now, wait a minute.
Well, they're backing them up, yeah.
On the offense.
Blocking the back.
Yeah, blocking the back. Wow.
I did not see the flag.
Could have got blown away.
Yeah.
Very well could have.
He threw it and it never landed.
It's somewhere in Lexington by now.
I was just about to say anything they get in the passing game is just gravy. And that time they looked like they picked up a first down, but the penalty negates that. Now instead they're going to have a 3rd and 15.
Yeah. All the way back to their own 37-yard line.
Yeah, probably run it and hope Smith breaks something.
And it does not. So what was a promising drive for the Thoroughbreds is going to end up with a likely punt.
Want to sneak in
thanks
the
to the block
QBs?
in the back. So with that, let's get you our first QBs by the quarter for quarter number 1, brought to you as always by Culpeper Ace Hardware.
Yeah, Colson Brown for North Augusta was 2 of 2 for 39 yards, all on that opening drive. And then Terrence Smith for South Aiken was 1 of 1 for 5 yards and 3 for 10 rushing.
That's Nathan Edwards with your QBs by the quarter, brought to you by Culpeper Ace Hardware.
So on 4th and 14, they will punt it away.
So North Augusta, as another flag flies, is going to have good field position.
Delay a game, maybe?
Delay a game.
Yep.
On the offense.
Now, is that one of those intentional ones?
I don't know. I don't
why
think
you
that
do
was.
that there.
Yeah, I don't think that was intentional. Maybe at the other 40, not at their 40.
You're just so now they're goes from good to better for North Augusta. The return man standing at his own 30-yard line.
Yeah, you just added 5 yards to the return, basically.
The wind didn't seem to have any effect on that punt, and he'll field it at the 30-yard line.
Yes.
Dance his way up to the 40. Tay Washington, who scored the touchdown earlier.
Yeah, he's the guy. They like to get the ball in his hands as much as possible, whether it's on returns, every now and then running it out of the backfield. and certainly throwing it to him as well.
Yeah, a lot of quick out passes to him last week, and then kind of faked the out to him and got the big play over the top.
Colson Brown, who engineered that terrific first drive as they chewed up 5 minutes marching down the field, mostly with DJ Curry runs, but the two big plays were the two pass plays, the long one to Wilcher and then the touchdown to Washington.
So it's Brown and Curry in the backfield. Curry gets the call one more time, and a big gainer, 12 yards up to midfield.
Yeah, Creech came in and made the nice tackle, but again, you don't want your safety making the tackles on Curry. That's a recipe for a long night.
13 yards and a first down for Curry. Brown with 3 receivers to the bottom of your screen. Now 2 of them go in motion. And all of that was smoke screens to give it to Curry, who picks up 1.
Yeah, North Augusta may have got away with a hold there. Number 88 for South Aiken was breaking into the line. That's Ryan Lubeck, 6'2", 195-pound sophomore. Good-looking prospect there, and he kind of got drugged to the ground from behind. Sometimes when it's in between those tackles, you can get away with some stuff.
Brown to throw this time, and it is intercepted. Picked off.
That's Creech.
Tylen Creech. And we wondered if this South Aiken defense could come up with some stops. Tylen Creech has your answer.
Well, again, it's what we talked about. Nathan just said it right before we went on the air. North Augusta miscues and turnovers, and that's what's happened. That fumble on the snap earlier made them, not be able to go for a 3rd and 3. And here they were trying to throw it across the middle, and Creech stepped in and made the nice play.
Terrence Smith and the T-Brads back in business from their own 37-yard line. And another big run by Javian Edwards.
Yeah, he's gonna be close to the first down, might be just shy.
And if you weren't with us in the first quarter, Edwards ripped off a 64-yard touchdown run for South Aiken's points.
And that's such a heads-up play by Creech. He's smart enough to know I've seen 2 slants in a row. They're probably going to run another one.
Yeah.
Jump the route.
Yeah, and it was a low throw. Matter of fact, you hear all the time nobody could catch it but the receiver. Nobody could catch it there but the DB. It was a low throw, but Creech got in there and caught it.
Inches away from a first down, and Smith will have it up near midfield with forward progress.
They've really keyed on Smith tonight. Jaquez Ryans and Colyn Moore again in on the tackle. But it's a first down. All he needed was about a yard. So far tonight, they bottled up the incredible quarterback. Again, averaging 12 yards a carry coming into tonight. And I know in the first quarter he only had 3 carries for 10 yards. So they've done a pretty good job of containing him so far. And that certainly was one of our keys to the game for the Jackets.
And it bears repeating, averaging almost 200 a game.
Yeah, he's – Tyler Smith from Barnwell leads the state of South Carolina rushing with over 1,300. Well, he's over 1,100.
Edwards, first down, then some.
Well, the guy tonight that's doing it, though, is Edwards. Wow.
Into North Augusta territory to the 38-yard line.
Yeah, that number 10, folks, is a 10th grader, too. That's the thing. He's got 2.5 years of still playing high school football. Good-looking run there.
12-yard pickup. I'd keep feeding him.
Yeah, no reason not to.
They will. And it's 6 or 7 more yards.
Well, and that's the thing. I think, when you do key him is when Smith is able to fake the handoff and break one off. That's, that's been what South Aiken's been able to do to every team they played this year. And they've been in a lot of track meets, but unfortunately they haven't been able to finish first yet in those track meets, 1-5 coming in. But I said this, those are 2 good 1-5 teams out there.
Over 100 already on the night, too.
John Edwards over 100. Uh-oh.
Smith is going to have to fall on that and have trouble doing that.
I don't think he got it.
I think North Augusta might be on it. A big break for North Augusta. Isaiah Weathersby comes out of the pile with it. And a bad snap stalls what was a promising South Aiken drive.
Yeah, I think he overran the ball. The ball kind of bounced back towards the line of scrimmage. He overran it, and that was one of the reasons he couldn't get on it. And North Augusta is able to get the turnover. So, they trade turnovers here. First the interception from Brown, and now the fumble on the snap.
So the Jackets from the 45.
Well, a
And
great
Washington.
block. Yeah, Tay Washington with a great run. There was a great block by DJ Curry out in front. South Aiken's got it packed in so much. If you break the line of scrimmage, you're gone. And their safety is coming up in coverage. I mean, look at I haven't seen a defense this tight. Now they bring a safety out. No, I mean, again, look how tight they are. Nobody really back as a safety valve.
Jackets into South Aiken territory. Need one for the first. Curry will have that and then some. And a first down to the 38-yard line.
You mentioned over 1,000 yards last season and having a great year again this year. And last week, one he'd want to forget with the 2 fumbles, but he did have another good game on the ground.
Fresh set of downs for the Jackets.
And they played some tough opponents, too. I talked about South Aiken. North Augusta's played Dorman. They played Dutch Fork. Some really good teams. They lost to Evans in the season opener on the road.
This is the 37th meeting between these two schools. We talked about how long this rivalry has existed. North Augusta has owned most of it, though, leading the all-time series 27-9. But South Aiken won 15-12 last year.
Prior to that, though, North Augusta had won 13 of the last 15 coming into that matchup last year. And certainly South Aiken it didn't have a tradition in football, but when Coach Hamilton came in and got the job, South Aiken was kind of known for maybe playing a weak non-region schedule, trying to get some wins for their fans. And there's a handoff up the middle to Curry.
For North Augusta as Washington took the snap that time, the direct snap, and he'll do exactly what Colson Brown has been doing, which is hand to DJ Curry, who takes it down inside the red zone to the 16-yard line.
Yeah, you'll see on this replay, good blocking up front, good hole made for Curry.
They split Colson Brown out to the wide, to the right.
Back to the point on Hamilton, though, he told them, I heard he told them early on, hey, that's not the way I do things. We're going to schedule tough non-region opponents if I come here. And there's Washington. Yeah.
Corner, touchdown. His second of the night.
Wait, we got a flag.
There is a flag down at the 12-yard line, so hold everything.
We may have a hold right there. Well, just allowed him to get the corner. There it was, right there on the.
Well, if you're going to hold, at least make it where it was going to go for a touchdown.
The coach will yell a little bit less.
But what I was saying, though, Coach Hamilton said, I'm not going to schedule an easy schedule. I'm going to play tough opponents. We're trying to build something here, and that's what he's done. They've turned the program around a bit, for sure.
So instead of 13-6 North Augusta, it is 1st and 15 from the 21-yard line. And they'll go back to Curry for a couple.
Yeah, I like that play design, though, as they do the direct snap to Washington and they bring Curry in. A little misdirection.
Yeah, we didn't really see this last week. I like this dynamic because if he pulls the ball, much more athletic, trying to make the defense kind of honor that a little bit more.
Yep. Second down and 15, maybe 14.
15.
We have a timeout. North Augusta calls timeout. So we'll take timeout with them, with North Augusta leading South Aiken 7-6 with 4:23 left in the first half. How about the T-Mobile student section at the Stomping Grounds on a Thursday night? I guess America must be the theme.
If you say so.
I'm just guessing. I mean,
well, I do see an America there.
There you go.
I see a few flags in there.
I didn't get the memo. I'm not on the South Aiken student section email list.
Last week, North Augusta's crowd was in camo, and I think what was Strom Thurmond? I forget what they were last week. They were maybe beach attire. I don't know. It was a war between the cheering sections.
One of the better ones I've seen was Evans did togas one week, which was pretty good.
2nd and 15 from the 20 for the North Augusta Yellow Jackets. And a lot of movement as Brown will now shift back to the shotgun. Washington will go in motion. He'll get it. He'll try to get the corner. And it'll be pushed out of bounds inside the 10-yard line. He'll have the first down.
Again, another good play. North Augusta, we didn't see this last week. This is totally different than what we saw in the Strom Thurmond game. I like it. And Washington able to get to the corner. He was knocked out of bounds finally by Jaquel Holman and Garrett Still.
So they are going to say he's slightly short, and I mean like inches short. So it's going to be 3rd and less than a foot.
Do you think they were intentionally holding stuff back for region play, or did they put it in this week?
I don't know. I like it, though. And the big fella, Curry, is going to get in there.
Touchdown, Curry.
Tough to.
Another flag in the backfield.
Well, hold the phone again. So 2 touchdowns now, wiped away by penalties for North Augusta.
It's going to be
Our official's microphone is not working tonight, but you can tell holding on the offense. And so not only does that take the touchdown off the board, but you go from 3rd and inches to now 3rd and 10. So a huge penalty against the Jackets.
Yeah, it's those little miscues again. Last week they lost 13-7, and they had turnovers and miscues like this in several key parts of the game.
Yeah, AB and I were talking about the game beforehand, and I thought North Augusta had the players to win tonight, but they can't make mistakes.
Brown will throw it. Guess who? It's Washington. Got to make one man miss.
That's going to be
another flag.
That's got to be a penalty. That's got to be a penalty. I don't think the referee saw it.
Wow, they didn't. I thought the referee running from the goal line was going to call it. They got lucky there because Creech definitely threw him down well out of bounds.
So here comes Jack Stevens.
And I made a bold assumption last week. That's got to be Drew Stevens' little brother, the kicker that's at Iowa. Got to be.
Shocked they're not going for it here?
26-yarder.
And it's always a close game with them.
If he is his brother, he's got a leg like him. That would have been good for 40. And so North Augusta puts 3 more on the board and extends the lead to 10-6.
Yeah, I mean, it's easy to say, should they go for it? I mean, I get it, but this game is always close. It always comes last year 15-12, and that gives you a 4-point lead. So it does make it a two. You've got to make them score a touchdown then a field goal. I'm aggressive. I would have gone for it, but I totally get not doing it.
Well, it can't come to South Aiken High School. It's up for debate, but I would say maybe the most accomplished athlete to come from South Aiken High School. You've got Michael Dean Perry, of course, but you also have Kevin Kisner.
Yeah.
PGA Tour member, South Aiken class of 2002. And, of course, just last week, a member of the victorious U.S. President's Cup team. His 2nd win as a member of the U.S. President's Cup team, 4-time winner on the PGA Tour. And, of course, my favorite part, led UGA to the 2005 National Championship, and still very active, lives here in Aiken, very active in the Aiken community with his foundation that does so much great work for charity here. Kevin Kisner.
And he's
South Aiken.
Breath of fresh air. Hearing him talk and his interviews, and just he's who he is.
I was going to use some of the things he said during his press conference last week, and then I remember this is a high school football game. Maybe we'll.
And he's also very good friends
with our own
with your colleague Brendan Robertson. Yeah, for sure. But he's who he is. He's going to say what's on his mind, and I just love it.
That's a great way to put it. He's a breath of fresh air. Yeah. You never have to wonder what he's thinking.
I could sit around and hear him tell stories all night long.
Yeah.
He's an incredible storyteller.
This ain't no hobby, as he says.
He said they picked him for the President's Cup. It wasn't with his play. He knew how to party. He said, I've never
that was
seen
the one I was going to use. I don't want to encourage the students.
Got to get on the ball.
Oh. Andrew Kirkland on the return for South Aiken, and you mentioned about Andrew Kirkland before kickoff.
Yeah.
His name is spelled A-N-D-R-U-W, much like former Brave great Andrew Jones, so we wonder if he's named after.
We're that old now. We're old enough. First, it was like Jalen Rose. We started seeing Jalen's. Then we started seeing Shaquille's, and we started seeing Kobe's, Jordans.
Yeah, now Kobe's.
Yeah.
I mean, Andrew's got a son playing professional baseball now.
That's right. One of the top picks in the draft.
So the T-Brads start from the 44-yard line, and it's Creech. And Creech has room around the left side.
He took a shot from Amir Young at the end of the play, and Amir Young was involved in our hit of the game last week and trying to stake his claim for another honor there, but this one's coming back. Yeah. That's the second time they've had a big gain on a pass play that's been brought back.
A lot of holds on the perimeter tonight.
Well, we still haven't seen Smith break one yet. And we know he's got the speed and capability. It's only a matter of time. And if you're North Augusta, you got to be thrilled. 3 minutes left in the first half, 3.5 minutes, and you've held him under under 20 yards, I think.
Spot foul, so it'll make it 1st and 12.
Yeah, he's under 20.
Under 20 yards for a guy averaging 200 a game. I'm sure the Jackets are pretty pleased with how they're doing there.
Back to Edwards, close to midfield.
And that'll bring up
second 7.
Yeah, second about 7. The Edwards is getting his yardage, of course. He's gotten a long touchdown and over 100 yards, but if you can stop one of the two, you're in good shape, because so far this year nobody's really been able to do that.
3 receivers to the bottom of your screen. And it'll be Creech that gets it. Across midfield and met much more. Dragged out of bounds at the 26-yard line, or pushed out of bounds, I should say.
Yeah, well designed. That same little screen, they do that's a really set up nicely. A lot of times that wide receiver screen, it goes for 3 or 4 yards. You don't see them break it, but South Aiken seems to, every time they've run it, had to bring a couple back with penalties, but they've been able to get some running room.
24 yards on the reception by Creech. 1st and 10 South Aiken at the 29-yard line.
Well, we thought after the first 2 drives we were going to have a track meet. It was 7-6. Both teams scored, and the pace has slowed a bit, but now South Aiken on the move again.
And it's Edwards. Give him 4. Creech is out of the ball game at the moment for the T-Brads. Edwards the back with Smith. And it is Edwards pushing across. And it'll be close to the first down. I believe they might have it.
He's going to be just short.
By, again, less than a foot. Bring up 3rd and inches.
We've talked about that a couple of times in the last few weeks, that nowadays teams don't get under center, and on that 3rd and short, man, it just gives the defense a bit of an advantage, in my opinion, when you're snapping the ball 3 or 4 yards behind the line.
Timeout on the field. We'll take it with him. 1:47 left to play in the half. So after the measurement, it'll be 3rd and about half the length of the football for South Aiken. Smith pitches. Oh, look at this play call. He's going to have the first down, and the big man wants a touchdown. Do we have a big man touchdown? So close. Ryan Lubeck, a yard shy.
Hey, that's a good-looking underclassman, too, because Lubeck's only a 10th grader.
195 pounds, 6'2", tight end and halfback.
I like this play. Yeah, really good run that you see on the instant replay. Cut it back up the middle.
But he did pick up the first down, so 1st and goal at the 1-yard line.
Yeah, I got a feeling these coaches have been saving a few of these plays for tonight.
Man, I would have put Lubeck back in the backfield and give it to him again. But it's going to go to Edwards, and he's
in. He's in. Touchdown.
In for his second score of the night.
Second of the night, ninth of the season. He's still 5 behind the quarterback, though, on rushing touchdowns this year. Smith has 14. But more importantly, it puts his team up for the first time tonight. They take the lead.
Now, I would go 1 here. I think it's way too early to start chasing points, going for 2.
Yeah, and +1 gives them a 3-point lead, which
Chris Hamilton appears to disagree with you.
Yeah, they're going to go for the 2. Well, he feels like probably a lot more points are going to be scored, and I don't disagree.
Smith will take it himself. Has a hole. Has the 2-point conversion. 14-10 South Aiken.
So the missed extra point earlier will not come back to haunt them as they pick up the 2-point conversion there, 14-10 Thoroughbreds.
So inside the final minute of this first half, let's take another Augusta Auto Auction sideline report with Bria Smith.
Yeah, John, I'm down here in the South Aiken student section. It's really hard to ignore their student section. They're loud, they're colorful. Talk to me a little bit about why you guys decided to use the USA as your theme for this year, for this game.
As a student section, it's one of our favorite, and it's just really something we can all get behind because we're all from America. We all love the USA.
I mean, the energy is loud. You can hear it in the background. Your team is playing pretty well. What do you have to say for that?
We're South Aiken. We're going to do the best.
And it's the first region game. How are you guys feeling about the outcome so far?
I think we're doing pretty good, so yeah. We just got to hold out and keep going. It's been fun. We're excited to show our school spirit and be here.
Alrighty, John, that's South Aiken's cheering section. Back to you.
And if you couldn't hear in the background of that report, appropriately enough, AB's favorite song, Party in the USA,
Heck yeah.
by Miley
Hands up.
Cyrus. Well done by the South Aiken student section tonight. And the North Augusta student section across the way, by the way, has shown up as well.
Traveling, I like it. Yeah, and they, again, we mentioned they came to Strom-Thurmond in large numbers last week as well.
They appear to have a construction worker theme. You see them in the neon at the left side of your screen.
I was wondering where Matt Lane was tonight. He's over there.
I hope he's not watching. South Aiken went 46 yards in 7 plays, took 2:20 off the clock, so we have less than a minute to play here in the first half.
Yeah, the kick goes out of bounds, so North Augusta will start in pretty good shape.
Been a pretty entertaining first half.
It has, and we expected that. I mean, we expect, North Augusta struggled on offense, but certainly South Aiken has had a hard time stopping folks, so we figured they would be able to score, and we knew South Aiken, their high-powered offense. Actually, North Augusta has done pretty good to hold them to 14 points. They're averaging 30.5 a game, and that's against some really, really good, teams. So the fact that they've only got a couple of scores in this first half, North Augusta can't be super disappointed. Now, what they're going to be disappointed are the turnovers, the miscues. That's what they've got to clean up.
Well, I was going to say this is a good Ken Nugent one call, that's all moment for Matt Quinn. Does he fling it down the field a couple times with 2 timeouts left and see if they can get in field goal range? But it appears he will be content to go to the locker room down 4.
I'm a little surprised the fact that they've been able to beat them throwing the football and as packed in as South Aiken has it. I mean, still, right now, they've got it packed in to stop the run. I'm a little surprised they're not trying to take a shot or two. Now they might.
Brown flushed out of the pocket, throws on the run, and overthrew everybody.
Yeah, he had his man, though. Taylor Washington coming back to the ball.
Don't forget the Eichels Law Firm halftime show coming up. We have several special guests lined up for you. So 25 seconds left. 3rd and 4 for the Jackets. And Curry will be tripped up and grabbed by Jackson Briatko. We mentioned the Briatkos earlier. He was their leading tackler a year ago with 38.
Yeah.
Or the leading tackler this year,
Hey,
I should say, with 38.
Don't let the size fool you. Pound for pound, he might be the toughest guy on the field. 5'6", about 140. And he goes flying through there to they list him at 160,
Wow.
but I'm doubting that.
Wow.
Nathan
I'm
Edwards looks
shocked.
like Peyton Manning over
I
here
am
trying to
shocked.
call timeout from the booth.
They'll just let almost 25 seconds just run off with as explosive an offense as you have, force them to punt the ball.
But
Yeah,
instead-
you're saying not North Augusta, but
No,
South Aiken.
should
Yeah,
have taken
yeah.
a timeout.
Yeah. Well, we're through 24 minutes of football. South Aiken 14, North Augusta 10. The Eichels Law Firm halftime show is next on Game Night Live. "24 minutes of football left at the Stomping Grounds. South Aiken comes out of the half with a 14-0 lead. And Seth Vaughn, our Augusta Sports Council punter of the game, will boot it away for the Jackets. And the second half is underway with the Burke Health kickoff. And the Thoroughbreds with Andrew Kirkland up near midfield to the 48-yard line. John Hart and AB back up here in the booth at the Stomping Grounds. And AB, the number that really stood out to me from that first half, the total yards. A difference of 3 yards, 182 for South Aiken, 179 for North Augusta.
The one that stands out to me is 15, and that's 15 yards rushing for Terrence Smith, who's averaging over 200 a game. If you told me that North Augusta held him to 15, I would think they were leading, but they still trail 14-10.
And there is the aforementioned Smith. He will keep on first down, and he'll be bottled up once again.
The two things I'm impressed by with him, he doesn't seem to care that he's only got 15 yards. They're up. It doesn't seem to faze him. A lot of times when guys are struggling, they wear their emotions on their sleeve. You can see it. Secondly, as much speed as he's got, he's not afraid to take it the middle and take a shot. And now he has been stretching out that right leg throughout the game. I don't know if he's got an injury and maybe they're not letting him run as much as normal because of that. But for whatever reason, North Augusta's been able to hold him in check. Javon Edwards has been the problem for the Jackets, over 100 yards and 2 touchdowns.
They gave him 1 on first down. And he's going to have a lot more on second down. Smith into the second level, into the secondary. He is gone.
Yeah, you're not going to catch him if he gets by you. Hey, just when I said maybe his legs bother him, I guess not.
15th touchdown of the year for Terrence Smith. A 50-yarder extends the South Aiken lead.
They held him in check the entire first half. His second carry of the second half. Now watch this speed. This is a different kind of speed. Watch the speed right here. When he thinks he's got it, nah, nobody's catching that guy. Whew. He can motor.
So I guess his leg's okay.
Yeah. No problem. Maybe he was stretching out knowing he was about to run one.
I mean, I was going to mention that Will Jennison, the offensive lineman, limped off right before that play, one of their captains, but it didn't seem to matter.
Again, the T-Breds will go for 2. Edwards will get the call. And on second
Big
effort, he's denied.
Big 99.
Yeah, Jaden Eason got him. I thought second effort he might have got in there too, but they hold him out of the end zone, so that makes it 20-10.
But what a start to the second half for South Aiken.
And that speed that's different.
So 20-10, South Aiken extends the lead to 10 with 10:55 left in quarter number 3. South Aiken went 52 yards in 2 plays, all Terrence Smith. He had 15 rushing yards in the first half. He's now got 52 in the second half. And a short kick, bobbled. Ooh.
Well, that
Jackson
was almost.
Briatko tried to get in there for South Aiken, but North Augusta will have the football.
That's called giving up your body, trying to get the ball. They went diving and sliding in there. Got to love the effort. You know, it's nothing like it. These kids work their tails off for a few Fridays. You think about it. There aren't that many Fridays you have in your whole career as a high school player, especially if you don't make varsity as a freshman or sophomore and you're not playing much. You only have a few, and they give it their all, man. And it's fun to see when you can see that they're out there giving it everything they've got.
So North Augusta needs points. Brown will hand it.
That's the
Not
one.
much.
Is that a flag now?
No,
or is that just
somebody's
debris?
towel
Yeah.
or debris or something.
So that's the one thing about North Augusta, though. They're not a quick strike team. Their best offense is giving it to Curry and running up the middle. And if he breaks one, fine. But they're not a quick strike team. You can't get behind too much more in this game with South Aiken because you haven't been able to stop them either.
You got to be patient right now, though.
Yeah.
You definitely don't want to get away.
Yeah,
from
you're
Curry,
still in good shape. You got to give it to Curry. That's what they need to do for sure.
Curry. Brown will throw.
Oh, that was a great
It
play.
is complete. What do we know?
That was
That's
a great
gonna be
play.
A long. Well, somebody's going to try to catch him, but it's going to be a long touchdown for North Augusta. How about that? Evan Waldauer.
Well, they have a long tradition of producing really good tight ends here at North Augusta, and that was a well-designed play. The fake to Curry, that is the best play I've seen Colyn Brown make. That looked so good. He faked it perfectly, dumped it across, perfect little pass to the tight end. Happy Greenway and Matt Campbell and some of the great tight ends that played here would be super proud of that one.
66 yards from Colyn Brown.
So much for them not being a quick strike offense, huh, John?
You had barely gotten that out of your mouth.
I know it.
Oh, well.
Just before I was talking, usually you talk about a player and bam, they may score. This time I'm doing the opposite.
So we got a roughing the passer penalty is going to be assessed on the kickoff.
And Jack Stevens will try to pull North Augusta back within 3.
Well, now that going for 2 could loom large, yeah.
Well, now here comes the debate that you get the 15 yards. Do you just try an onside kick, squib kick it?
You know what? I don't know that it makes much of a difference in South Aiken getting the ball at the 25 or the 40.
Why not go for it?
45, yeah.
How about two play drives resulting in 2 touchdowns to start the second half?
Well, it's how the first half, remember the first one started. I mean, it were longer drives, but 2 quick scores, and we're thinking, okay, it's going to be a track meet. Things slowed down in the second quarter, but, man, they've picked back up here in the second half as North Augusta gets within 3 on the beautifully designed play. I mean, the coaching staff over there deserves a world of credit. And also, again, the patience to not use that. We didn't see that play last week. We didn't see that play in the first half. That is, man, I couldn't be a coach. If I had a play like that, I'm going to use it a lot.
But you want to use all your
I want to use it
play
all.
with all your toys Christmas morning.
That's it.
Yeah, but that's where we go back to talking about region play is really what matters in high school. And so if you've got something like that, you might want to save it.
Well, and it's the perfect team to be able to do it. They're so keyed on Curry because he's so much of their offense that oh, yeah, look where North Augusta's kicking the ball from.
For me, it's like they get it to 35.
Yeah.
I mean, why not? It
makes no sense not to. You're right.
Nathan mentioned the penalty that is being enforced on the Berg Health kickoff.
And it doesn't. Yeah, he's teeing it up.
If the wind is making it difficult for the ball to stay on the tee.
But I'm with Nathan here. I don't know why you'd kick this one off.
Well, let's see what happens.
Yeah, I would definitely try the onside kick from here. I mean, there's some coaches that argue you should try it anywhere, but I would try it from here for sure.
Nope.
Or if anything, I pooch kick it. I don't just. Did he kick it out of bounds? Oh, that is.
Wow.
Oh.
So you just gave the yards back.
Worst possible outcome there.
Yeah, so now they're going to be up there where they would have been if you'd have onside kicked it.
Yeah. Even like you said, even if you don't onside kick it, at least pooch kick it, and you know that's what South Aiken just did to North Augusta, and North Augusta almost coughed it up.
We're not even 2 minutes into this second half. We have 2 scores, and now South Aiken will have good field position to start its second drive.
You know, Chris Hamilton said it doesn't matter how we're doing, how they're doing. This is going to be a close game year in and year out.
Yeah. What about the night Colyn Brown's having? So we saw him a little inconsistent last week. His only incompletion all night is the 1 interception.
7 for 8 with 2 touchdowns. He does have the 1 pick, though. Over 100 yards now,
140-plus yards now. So the officials are meeting.
I guess they're with him where they kicked it off from. I think they're discussing would it be marked at the same spot as normal.
Yeah, I don't think it would matter. It's kicked out of bounds.
It's kicked out of bounds. It's kicked out of bounds, right?
We've also had, correct me if I'm wrong, we've had 3 touchdowns or 50 or more yards too, right? You know, we've got the 65-yard run, a 50-yard run, and then the touchdown pass.
You are correct. So now they'll go explain it to Chris Hamilton.
Yeah, I don't know how it would be any different kicking it from there. You got the benefit of the penalty by moving up. So it seems like kicking it out of bounds, it would just be where it normally would be.
Boy, look at that wind whip on the field. So Nathan is getting the explanation here in the press box from our head of officiating.
So he's saying that they get the so I'm being told they have the option to take it from the 20 with a 5-yard penalty to the 25, or they could take the 5 yards back and have them re-kick the ball.
Well, but didn't they get the benefit on the penalty of moving all the way up and kicking it from the 50? It seems like that would have been the benefit of the penalty. Okay. Okay.
So the end result of all of this is going to be South Aiken from its own 20-yard line, 1st and 10.
Gotcha.
Well, and now you got to deal with, you just had a great moment, but then you come right back and you got to deal with number 1 and number 10 again, Terrence Smith and Javon Edwards.
Yeah, I think official up here in the booth I think they're talking about moving this to the 25.
And again, the official will come down to the bottom right-hand corner of your screen and explain it to Chris Hamilton once again.
I think they're going to leave it there.
So everybody seems satisfied for the most part. And it'll be 1st and 10 T-Brads from the 20. And a flag, just when things were going so well.
Interesting flag. They got too many men on the field or something.
Again, our official's microphone is not working. So offsides on North Augusta.
Well,
after all that, it's going to end up at the 25.
We got to the 25 anyway.
It doesn't matter how you get there as long as you get there, I guess.
Divine intervention, man.
Yeah. So 1st and 5 for the T-Brads from the 25. Smith wanted to throw, will throw, and he'll just, well, I thought he was just throwing it away, but he got it to Jeffrey Jackson, and it's complete for a 1st down.
You're so worried about him running that you don't want to come up too quick, and you know he makes the beautiful pass there to Jeffrey Jackson.
Catch to keep his feet in bounds by Jackson, and a 1st down up to the 41-yard line.
That puts him over 200 yards receiving on the season.
This time it's Edwards.
Pick up about 3.
His first carry of the second half after that huge first half. 115 yards and 2 scores in half number 1 for Edwards. And he'll pick up 3 on first down here.
Smith just seems so under control for a guy with that. He's such a good, quick athlete and all that, but he's just so under control at the quarterback position, and there's a 1st down from Edwards. Tell you, they got 2 more years of this kid after this season.
Wow.
Pretty good. And Smith is only a junior. They'll have them both back next year.
That'll get him into North Augusta territory. Pickup of 7. Well, you're right. Smith just takes his time.
Yeah.
The game moves slower for him.
And then when he decides to take off, he's a blur. You know, it's just.
And there he goes. Speaking of taking off,
what a fake.
Still on his feet. Taken down short of the 45-yard line. He ran about 15 yards to pick up 4.
Yeah, he's stretching again. Stretching his back this time and stretching that leg again.
Well, last time he did that, he went for 50 yards.
I was going to say, I'd watch that maneuver if I was North Augusta.
I'm not buying it.
Yeah, don't believe that at all. Yeah, you see him again. He's stretching his, I don't know if it's his lower back or.
Two backs with him. Nothing doing on second down.
That's Creech on the carry.
And if I'm not mistaken, I may have misheard, but I think our guest from McDonald's in the halftime show said that Terrence Smith works here at the McDonald's.
She said I'm here for, and she showed that she's representing Terrence, so he must work at the local McDonald's, yeah.
So he does a little bit of everything.
I bet he's quick there, too.
I bet. I'm going to go through that drive-through.
Yeah. He throws it in the car as you go by.
You don't even have to stop. Hits you in stride. There he goes again. And were it not for a great tackle by Xavier Anderson, he would have been gone.
Yeah,
and also
Jaquez Ryan's got the hand on the leg to slow him down, and you're right, finished up there by big number 90, but that could have been a really big gain. It's still a first down, though, for the Thoroughbreds. They're running the ball, running the clock. They've got the lead. It's only 3, but they are on the move again.
Ryan's North Augusta's leading returning tackler this year, and you can see why as he saved a big gain by Smith. But still a first down, 1st and 10 from the North Augusta 36.
Yeah, last week we didn't hear much from him in the first half, but he had a really big second half, Ryan's. Different back this time.
This is Ethan Bentley, our first look at the sophomore. 5'10", 175, picks up 1. He gives Edwards a break. They say no gain technically, so 2nd and 10.
And you see him again, Terrence Smith, and our camera crew is doing a good job of getting it. He's stretching, and then he's stretching the leg. I don't know if that's just a habit, just something he does or what, but he's been doing it throughout the game. I noticed it in the second quarter first. And you see him there, he's kind of walking.
Limping a little bit.
Oh, and he's hurting a little bit.
Oh, so now Smith, let's hope he just needs to be stretched out a little bit. We'll keep an eye on him. 6:10 to play in quarter number 3. And there you see Terrence Smith, after getting stretched out on the field, will stay on the sidelines for this second down play. And Creech will take the snap. Edwards will get the carry.
Oh!
And the ball is out. And it's North Augusta football.
Huge play for the Jackets.
We'll have to take a look at the Busby's replay to see who knocked it out. But coming out of the pile with the football is Colyn Moore.
Yep. Colyn Moore gets the ball. And, had nothing to do with Smith not being in the game. The ball got knocked out. And I believe, oh, my gosh, I see him on the ground, number 62 maybe?
62?
Yep, 62.
Peyton Chavis gets the credit for knocking it free.
Yeah, he's a kid getting some looks from some schools. Peyton Chavis for sure.
So a 4-minute drive for the T-Breds comes up empty. And North Augusta exactly what they needed.
That is a huge play for the Yellow Jackets. And on top of that, you got Terrence Smith now sitting on the bench on the side. Well, actually, he's on the track trying to – now they're laying him down to stretch him out again.
Yeah, he's on the trainer table.
Yeah.
So we'll watch that while you watch this. 1st and 10, North Augusta. Colson Brown back in business. Swings it out on the far side for Washington. Washington dances his way for 6.
Good no call by the officials there. Could have called a block in the back, but the defensive player basically turned around while he was getting blocked. Nothing you could really do there but block him in the back.
Brown has very quietly had a very efficient night leading this North Augusta offense.
Well, like I said, in my 3rd time seeing him play, maybe the 4th. I saw him twice last year. At best, I've seen him look for sure.
And that'll be another first down for North Augusta. Moving the chains once again.
Well, we said in
midfield.
We said in the keys to the game for them, run curry and short passes for ball control, and it's really worked. They have the one big pass play, but
it is Curry. And second effort, close to another first down, pick up of 8.
Sensing the momentum shifting a little bit towards the Jackets for sure with the fumble, and now they're moving the football, and you got Smith laying there, and he's definitely in some pain. It's at a hip. Maybe his hip. I don't want to speculate, but it doesn't look like a serious injury. But if it keeps him out of the game, and a nice open field tackle. I tell you, that kid is tough. Yeah.
Again.
Yeah, well, it's not cold tonight, but it's cool enough to make it difficult if you got something tightening up on you.
So a big third down. 3rd and 3 from the 43 for North Augusta.
And it makes that 50-yard run where he outran everybody even more impressive because he was hurting in the first half.
Indeed. Ball out. Washington picks it up, but he's going nowhere. And a big stop for South Aiken.
Second time on 3rd, and both times it was 3rd and 3. They fumble the snap and now are put in a 4th down situation. This time, though, it's in a spot of the field where you might go for it. We'll see if they do, and it looks like they're going to. Colson Brown.
Matt Quinn going to lead the offense on the field. 4th and a long 3, short 4, however you want to look at it.
I don't blame him. Do you go with the little, I don't know if you don't go back to the little fake pitch, look for a dump-off pass here.
Brown in the shotgun. Washington the man in motion. And Ken Nugent, one call, that's all moment for Matt Quinn. Now will they just try to draw him off? And it appears that is what they were trying to do. So Matt Quinn will call a timeout.
Playing it a little bit conservative, and again, I'm not going to second guess him. These games have been so close, especially with Smith maybe not coming. Is he going to come back in? That's the question.
I would always love to see the fake here after you take the intentional 5 yards because I don't think anybody's expecting it at that point.
That would be gutsy. But the Jackets will kick it away. And a North Augusta bounce will be down at the 22-yard line. That is where South Aiken will set up shop with 3:09 to play in the 3rd quarter, leading by 3.
And the big key is number 1 on the field.
Right side of your screen.
He is.
Terrence Smith back into the ball game for South Aiken.
If nothing else, just to keep that in the back of North Augusta's mind that anytime this guy can run the ball. You still got Creech, you've still got Edwards, you still got other weapons.
Well, maybe that's why we haven't seen him running as much tonight.
Yeah.
Maybe we knew they
coming into
the game.
Yeah, I said that earlier, that maybe that's why his carries were limited in the first half, but then he breaks the long run. He's thrown the ball well.
Not running here, completing to Creech, ahead for 6.
Yeah.
A little bit of pushing and shoving after the play. Let's go down to Bria Smith for an Augusta Auto Auction sideline report.
Yeah, John, we were keeping a close eye on Terrence Smith. It did look like when he was laying down, getting stretched out, that it was on his right leg and his upper hip area. That seemed to be a little aggravated, but he was able to hop up right off the bench, and he is now back in the game. So it looks like he's ready to play.
And now Creech is getting stretched out right behind Bria.
Behind her back. Now Creech is down being stretched out on the sideline.
That one looked more like a cramp, but it's kind of late in the year for that.
Odd to be getting cramps on a night like tonight.
Either way, the training staff for South Aiken getting a workout tonight.
Bet.
And that'll back them up.
Delay game on the T-Breds, so it'll be 2nd and 9.
South Aiken up 3, but North Augusta had seized the momentum, and then on that second time on a 3rd and 3, they fumbled the snap and are forced to punt it away. And Edwards nowhere to go. Getting in there again was Chavis, Peyton Chavis, who we hadn't called his name out, didn't at all really in the first half, and he's made 2 good plays here in the second half. Forced the fumble earlier, and now getting into the backfield. Chavis and Eason up front. That's a pretty good little combo for North Augusta.
Appears Matt Quinn might have pointed out number 10 to his defense at halftime.
Yeah. Well, they stopped Smith in the first half. Now they're trying to stop Edwards here in the second.
So 3rd and 9. Smith will take matters into his own hands. Let's see how the leg feels. And he'll be stopped, no gain.
Yeah, nowhere to really go there. North Augusta strung that out well.
Another good defensive stand for the Yellow Jackets.
Yeah, DJ Booker made the tackle.
A great job by the DB over there to force that back inside, not let him get to the outside. Let your help come from the inside and help you out.
Inside a minute to play in the third.
So that's 4 stops for North Augusta's defense tonight now. 2 punts, two turnovers.
And the punt will roll inside the 40, and North Augusta will have it at the 33. Time for America's favorite game show, AB.
It's becoming one of my least favorite.
The Stump AB trivia question.
Oh, man.
So we mentioned Chris Hamilton, 45-36 in his 8th season here at South Aiken. 6 straight trips to the playoffs, defending region champs. Who is the all-time winningest coach in South Aiken football history?
Oh, man.
We'll let you think about that and give you the answer in the 4th quarter.
And his current record is 1-2-1 this season as well.
That would be me, not the coach.
You got me on that. So here come the Yellow Jackets. Down 3 from their own 32. That'll likely be the final snap of the third quarter. Excuse me.
Yeah, that quarter flew by. We had the 2 big plays to start the quarter, and then things slowed down, sort of how they did in the first half.
So we're set up for a finish here at the Stomping Grounds. Through 3 quarters of play, North Augusta, South Aiken in a tight one. Thoroughbreds will take a 3-point lead to the final 12 minutes. "12 minutes left to decide this one. The region opener between South Aiken and North Augusta. Yellow Jackets, 2nd and 9 from their own 33-yard line. Washington will get the call, but will he get the corner?
Oh, wow. Nowhere to go.
Great coverage by the T-Breds.
He's going to lose a ton.
Jackwell Holman.
13-yard loss.
The first one in for the T-Breds.
Yeah, that play was kind of telegraphed because you knew they weren't going to run like a quarterback draw there. So
boy, what a
make it a 12-yard loss. They gave him the 21.
Play for the South Aiken defense. 3rd and 22. What do you draw up here, AB?
Well, that little in route to the receiver worked, but I think maybe you fake that and go deep, go to a different receiver, go out.
I think you just try not to make a big mistake here. You're in this football game. Don't turn it over.
Washington in motion. Brown does want to throw. In and out of the hands of Washington, or Curry actually.
Yeah, a little too much zip on that one for Curry to handle it.
So a big stop for this South Aiken defense.
Yeah, because the momentum had definitely shifted to North Augusta.
Yeah.
So now you get the ball back. You should get decent field position. And now the key is, will Terrence Smith be on the field? And he is. He does have helmet on. He is standing as if he's ready to go in, talking to the trainer.
And North Augusta with Seth Vaughn to kicking directly into that wind.
What a good kick.
What a kick.
Oh, wow.
And a great bounce.
Wow.
Boy.
What a kick.
Seth Vaughn couldn't have done it any better than that.
So much for the good field position.
That's going to roll all the way back to the 16-yard line of South Aiken.
Yep, 45-yarder into the wind.
And that brings us to our QBs by the quarter for quarter number 3, brought to you by Culpeper Race Hardware.
Yes, so we've got the update here. So we got Brown is 8 of 9 for 153 yards, 2 touchdowns, and an interception for North Augusta. And Smith is 5 of 5 for 71 yards, and then had 78 yards rushing as well and a touchdown.
And speaking of Smith, not in to start this drive, that is Creech in the shotgun for South Aiken.
Well, that is terrible blow for South Aiken if he's not able to come back. Now, he got his helmet. Oh, here he comes. He's got his helmet on.
That is great news for South Aiken.
Yeah.
So Creech took the first snap. Here comes Terrence Smith.
And we've got a player down in the South Aiken backfield.
Well, this is usually the kind of thing you see early in the season as Smith continues to stretch that right leg.
Yeah, it just seems like an aggravating kind of hip, upper right leg, as Bria pointed out. And he's been doing that the whole game. So this has been bothering him the whole game, obviously.
While they tend to the player down, let's take a look ahead. 8 days from now, AB, one of our favorite stops of the year.
It's a huge rivalry game, maybe the biggest in that part of the, maybe the biggest in the area, one of the biggest in the state.
The 378 War, Lincoln County and Washington Wilkes. We will be in Tigertown. And one of our favorite stops also, AB, because it's our setup there is so unique. We call the game from the goal line.
From the field.
From the field.
So cool. Love it. I love it. You feel like you're right in the action. I mean, they shut down the town for the game, and it's such a great atmosphere. Last year was an incredible game. Lincoln County's coming off a huge win last week over Richmond Academy. They beat them 41-20. Trey Huff had a monster game, 4 touchdowns, and also on defense, 10 tackles.
By the way, that was Creech that was down for South Aiken, but he trots off under his own power.
Yeah, and I apologize. I knew that punt was better than that. It was a mistake on my end. That was a 63-yard punt.
There you go.
Win.
That is a 1-quarter suspension with pay.
Yeah. Got the walk home.
By the way, that's the wind really whips through the press box here. And another short gain for the T-Breds. This North Augusta defense has really tightened up.
Yeah, they're starting to key on that ground game and get it stopped. And usually a good ground game wears down the defense, but in this case it looks like the defense is wearing down the offensive line a little bit.
It's a pretty big third down here.
We got a hold here to decide whether they're going to take it or not.
Yeah, do you back them up further or do you force it, 3rd and 9? They're going to make them do it again on second down and
second
long.
And 14.
Yeah, it's actually going to be longer. Second down and
20.
Yeah. But if you're South Aiken, I mean, you might take the 2nd and 20 over 3rd and 9. 2 plays to try and bust one here.
Smith will throw. Ooh, complete. And somehow hanging on to the football is Ethan Bentley, but the ball is out. And North Augusta says they have it, and they do.
The craziest thing, number 22, Ethan Bentley, the sophomore, held on to the ball when he got crushed by Amir Young, but then later he loses the ball. Perfect pass by Smith, and watch this collision between Amir Young and Bentley. Now he holds on to the ball there, but here he has it stripped away by number 23 for the Jackets.
L.J. Tillman.
Yeah.
And then big number 90, Xavier Anderson, falls on it for the Jackets, who have great field position now. Down 3, 9:12 to play from the South Aiken 26-yard line.
Yeah, 2 big fumbles by South Aiken in this half. Have North Augusta again stealing the momentum. And look at
just
Curry.
Driving, pushing straight ahead. First down to the 15-yard line, and inside the red zone goes Curry.
Ooh, nobody on that defense is going to want to watch that highlight on the game film day.
Big Jerome Bennis right up the middle there.
Yeah, tomorrow they watch these games on Sunday, Coach said, and they're going to want to fast forward through that one. That's humbling there.
First and 10 from the 15. Curry again. They'll like this one a lot better when they see it on Sunday.
That's Holman, the
The
sophomore.
ball's out.
It's picked up.
It's picked up.
They bloody dead.
The play is blown dead. Boy, Jackson Briatko
wow.
thought he had nothing but room to run. Oh, he is angry.
And the South Aiken fans were pretty excited too. Holman made the stop, but they blow it dead. And that would have been a big fumble. We mentioned Curry last week coughed it up twice. He's been able to hold on to the ball tonight. That would have been a monstrous play in this game.
Still a 5-yard loss.
Yeah, as it is a 5-yard loss, so it's going to be second and about 14.
Brown moving Curry from right to left.
Brown completes.
That was Wilcher.
Got Wilcher. The big play earlier in the game. And he'll get it back to make it 3rd and manageable.
This is a big play. They obviously Stevens can kick it from here.
3rd and 5.
If you're South Aiken, holding them to a field goal might be a win on this possession. 3rd and 5.
And now Chris Hamilton wants to take a timeout and talk about it. So timeout on the field, we'll take it with him. 7:38 to play. North Augusta down 3. 3rd and 5 from the South Aiken 11-yard line. Brown won't get there. Davius Ford.
Yeah, big play by Ford there.
A senior defensive back. And now North Augusta will try to reach for 3 and tie this thing up. Jack Stevens. $28-yarder. And it's no good. I couldn't tell if South Aiken got a piece of it or not. But either way, the T-Breds maintain a 3-point lead, now under 7 minutes to play.
Wow. That is a big, again, he's got the leg. It's just, like you said, I couldn't see if they got a piece or not, but it's no good. And South Aiken, as much momentum, North Augusta's picked up the 2 fumbles. They've moved the ball. They've looked like the better team this half, but they still trail in the game.
That was just like last week. They got a big turnover and couldn't capitalize on any points again.
Yeah. So Smith back in there.
T-Breds will operate from the 20.
Well, they're going to have to do something else because North Augusta is keying on Edwards up the middle. That time again, the big fella, we loved watching him last week, Jaden Eason, and he was right in front of, right where Edwards was trying to run and stuff that play.
Edwards made it to the original line of scrimmage.
I mean, do they have a whole lot else? Because Creech seems to be banged up.
Yeah.
Smith seems to be banged up.
Well, Smith is banged up. You're right, running, but can he throw to, Jackson's their top receiver, even though Creech tonight's been the guy. Do you try to get the ball to Jackson's hand on one of those wide receiver screens?
Instead, it'll be Edwards again.
And give him credit, man. He's running right at him, and again, it was Eason. Edwards picks up some decent yardage that time. And you wonder if can Smith run? I mean, can he fake that handoff and take it? If he can, this will be a great spot to do it in.
Illegal formation.
No, we didn't see the flag.
Yeah. So that negates it. Instead of being third and 6 or so, yeah.
3rd and 10, it'll be 2nd and 15. The wind has now shifted to the other side, so now South Aiken is driving into the wind. And this is Edwards.
And
still nothing.
99.
Right there's Eason again.
99 again.
He's tough.
I wasn't with you guys last week, but you told me before the game he was all over the field against Strom Thurmond, and he's at it again.
Yeah. But again, that run actually got him to where it was 3rd and 5 or 6, but, you get the penalty, so it backs them up from their line of scrimmage. Penalties and miscues have hurt both teams tonight in key situations. It's been pretty even, though. The turnovers, the botch snaps, it's been pretty even. Everything in this game's been pretty even.
Including the scoreboard, 20-17 as we get near 5 minutes to play. Smith will roll out, wants a bunch.
Got a man. Oh.
And just underthrew Jeffrey
now,
Jackson.
If the receiver came back for the ball, he might have got a pass interference call.
Yep.
All he had to do was come back for the ball because the defender didn't know where the ball was.
Yep. so hard to complete that pass with the wind swirling the way it is. Like 1
Just
minute is
mentioned
20
into
into
the
you.
wind.
Yeah, and 1 minute it's 20 down. It's like.
And it's almost like amen corner out there right now, because if you watch the American flag at the far end of the field, now South Aiken's driving with the wind at their back. It's changing almost by the play.
We are under 5 minutes to go in this one. There you see that wind.
Will that be a factor if North Augusta needs a field goal to tie this thing?
Oh.
Not a good punt. Off the side of his foot.
Away from the ball. What is he doing?
Why is South Aiken trying to even touch the ball?
Why is North Augusta picking up the ball?
Now,
North Augusta, excuse me, not South Aiken.
I thought that was blocked.
Yeah, South Aiken did the right thing. Did they block it?
I thought somebody got it.
Yeah, I had the teams confused. Yeah, North Augusta, why are they picking up the football? South Aiken should have tackled them.
Here we go. Spot. Let's take a look at the Busby's instant replay. Nope.
Side of his foot. Yeah, you just got to be away from the ball.
But again here, if you're North Augusta, get away from the ball. And again, when the North Augusta guy picks up the ball, why didn't South Aiken just hammer him? Take the ball
massive,
away.
massive break for North Augusta. Down 3, 4:45 to play, and has the ball at the South Aiken 15-yard line.
They get a do-over from the last possession, basically. And it's even better because it's first down.
Washington takes the snap.
Nowhere to go. Nice play. The defensive end there, Kamar Lee, 6 foot, 230-pound senior, fought off his block and able to stop that play for a loss of a yard.
Yep.
So 4:20 and counting.
You see the camera shaking now. That's not the wind. That's the South Aiken fans making noise.
Yeah. Well, we know this is a rivalry game, and it means a lot for the teams and region in terms of standings.
2nd and 11 from the 16.
Tight end in motion there.
Got it.
And again,
there it is.
Up the middle. Touchdown. DJ Curry. North Augusta leads.
Well, North Augusta has taken the momentum in the second half, and they finally take the lead. Well-designed play. Everything looked like they were going to the right, and they come back to the left with a little counter play to Curry, and he drags everybody into the end zone there. He's well over 100 yards, and now he has a touchdown.
And Stevens, that's a big extra point right there, and it is good. So now South Aiken cannot tie with a field goal, but has plenty of time. 3:53 left to play.
Yeah, 3:53 with a couple of timeouts.
What a ball game.
But again, their offense has looked totally different since the injury to Smith with his inability to run, and Edwards has been stuffed by that defensive front. Peyton Chavis and Jaden Eason have done a great job up front.
We mentioned how many games were moved from tomorrow night to tonight and last night, and we want to remind you that not only is Game Night Live tonight instead of tomorrow night, Football Friday night or Football Thursday night.
Yeah,
we'll call
special
it this
edition.
Well, special edition tonight at 11:35 over on WJBF News Channel 6. So no Football Friday night tomorrow night. We will have Football Friday night tonight with Brendan Robertson.
Friday night off. Are we just going to drive around in circles and not know what to do?
I will give them a tease. There's a thriller in that Evans Lakeside in the fourth quarter.
Excellent.
Oh, there we go.
Brendan will have that for you. I know exactly what I'm
thriller.
doing
We got
night.
one here, by the way.
We got a thriller here. We'll wrap this one up for you as well. Tomorrow night, I'm making my maiden voyage to the Columbia County Performing Arts Center.
There you go.
Nice. Little driving and crying action.
Oh, nice.
One of my favorite bands.
Oh, yeah.
Little honeysuckle.
A little honeysuckle blue. So here come the Thoroughbreds, down 4, I should say. And still on his feet. Heck of a return.
Yeah, nice return by Edwards.
28-yard line by Edwards.
Yeah.
Got a guy hurt. Got a guy down for South Aiken.
Can't see who that is. Looks like
could be 7.
It might be Jackson, Jeffrey Jackson, and
Wow.
he's their top receiver.
Three of their top 4 offensive players banged up tonight. between Creech, Jackson, and Smith.
So we'll hope he just got the wind knocked out of him or something, but
yeah,
they'll tend to him.
Well, it'll be a real key to see if Smith carries the ball on this drive. He has not run it since he came back in after being worked on the sidelines. They've been relegated to runs by Edwards, and he's thrown it a couple times, has Smith, but he hasn't run it yet since that he had that long touchdown run. But since he had to come out of the game, they haven't. And Jackson looks like he's going to be all right.
Good to see.
But again, if you're trying to go downfield on a drive, he's one of your guys, your leading receiver this year. Now he's out. So the injuries mounting for South Aiken, and they find themselves in a hole here in the fourth quarter. They led throughout the game up until a moment ago. Well, I guess North Augusta struck first. But
this is where Smith's composure that you've talked about all night long comes into play here, because you could be driving down. You never know, this could be a drive for a region championship. You don't know how the season's going to.
For sure.
So here come the Thoroughbreds, 71 yards away from it, 3:45 on the clock.
Well, he was going to run there, but
blown up.
Colyn Moore.
Colyn Moore with a huge play for North Augusta.
As good as Eason has been, and as good as Ryans has been, and as good as Chavis has been, that might be your defensive MVP right there.
That's a loss of 8, which reminds us.
Remember, he's got the fumble recovery. Chavis caused it, but
McDonald's offensive and defensive players of the game coming up at the conclusion of tonight's game, as well as our Powerade play of the game and our East Central Health District hit of the game. All that coming up, but business to settle here.
Yeah, that wasn't
2nd and 15.
Here we go. Let's see what he does here.
We got a guy wide open.
Smith does have a
What
man
a catch.
at the 39.
What a
and
catch.
It's going to be close to a first down. Great grab. And that is Ford, who made the play earlier.
He made the play on defense. Now he makes a great catch. And what a play, because it looked like South Aiken, 2nd and 15, going backwards. Now a good sign also on this drive is the fact that Smith was going to attempt to run on first down. So now South Aiken on the move here a little bit with that nice pass play. He just looked like he was throwing it up for grabs at first.
I thought he was throwing it away.
Yeah, and Ford.
Yeah, just a blown cover. Just nobody covering him.
So move the chains for the T-Breds from the 41. Smith will run. Now we'll throw. Creech, who's back in the game, and he's got a first down.
Oh, that's just something you can't teach, man. That was not a design play. He wanted to run the ball.
That's one of those just brutal type, kind of like a RPO.
Yeah, just a impromptu move by a great athlete, Smith. And especially considering the situation he's dealing with the injury.
Throwing again behind Ford.
Yeah. So they're going to lose about 5. 2nd and 15.
Smith will try to keep it himself. He'll get back to the line of scrimmage.
So it's going to be a big 3rd down and 11 here.
A good play by Weathersby for North Augusta.
It's 3rd and 11, but you're really in 4-down territory with 1:50. I mean, you got 2 timeouts.
Aiken does have those 2 timeouts, but inside the final 2 minutes, this is it.
You got to get 11 yards in 2 plays. It's ball game.
Line to make is the 40-yard line of North Augusta. Same play they ran almost for the touchdown earlier. Lubeck. And North Augusta was more ready for it this time.
Yeah, ready, but he does put him in a good 4th down position.
It is 4th and manageable.
They picked up about 7 on that play. So 4th down and, give them 6, so it's 4th and 5.
So this is pretty much the ball game right here.
Yeah, they
for
got
all intents and purposes.
They got to get across the North Augusta 40.
What will Chris Hamilton dial up here? Jackets are coming. Smith is going. He's got the first down.
Heart of a champ
chains
right
at the
there.
38.
Heart of a champion right there. Running right into the teeth of the defense with his leg the way it is. Pretty impressive. Big play on 4th down.
Well, now those 2 timeouts are large. An affordable auto insurance first down. And South Aiken can call its own pace here. Smith wants to throw, has all time in the world.
Yeah, flag down.
Because of that flag comes down. It might come back at the hold, but we'll check.
Yeah, it looks like a hold.
T-Brads are celebrating, but hang on.
Well, two things about that play. The flag, and then also you ran off about 15 seconds of clock as well. He did a great job. I mean, he's got all day, like you said. There it was, yeah. Might have been a couple of holds on that play.
Anytime your quarterback's got that much time.
Well, that's a big one.
Yep. So you go from 1st and 10 at the 38 to 1st and 20.
Wow, they're backing them way up because of spot foul. So they're all the way back on their side of the field.
It's going to be more than 1st and 20. Wow.
I didn't think
First
the
and
hold,
25.
Yeah, I didn't think the hold was there, but apparently it was 5 yards behind the line of scrimmage.
Goodness.
So it gives them a 15-yard penalty.
Clock's running also.
Clock inside the final minute, as Nathan mentioned. Smith under pressure, gets rid of it.
Ooh.
In and out of the hands of Edwards.
Well, it does stop the clock, but they've got
41.2 left.
41.2, and they've got 2 timeouts.
So you don't have to get it all back in one play, but you are running out of time. One of the finishes of the year for Game Night Live so far in 2022.
Well,
stick around for the post-game show. The McDonald's offensive and defensive players of the game, Powerade play of the game, East Central Georgia Health District hit of the game. Has the play of the game happened, or is it about to happen? Smith. Big gain, huge hit. Might be the hit of the game, courtesy of Washington.
they got to call timeout here.
Now
The
South
clock's
Aiken
running.
with the clock running at 30 seconds will call timeout with 29.8.
Again.
I thought he got out of bounds, but I guess he did not.
No, he got hit and stayed in, but again, 5 or 6 seconds ran off before they got the timeout call.
So 29.8.
Yeah, he caught that ball with about 35 seconds left and was on the ground.
And you need 15 yards in 2 plays if you're South Aiken.
Yeah, I think the South Aiken coach wanted the clock to stop because of the injured player, and it kept running there for a while.
Yeah.
Real quick, let's sneak in the trivia answer. Again, your Stump Baby trivia question was,
I'm actually
who's
going
the
to
winningest coach in South Aiken history?
I think it's a trick question. I'm going with Chris Hamilton.
The answer is, you figured it out. It was a trick question.
Hey!
Chris Hamilton.
I'm back to 500, baby.
And he's got some work to do if he's going to add number 46 to his resume here tonight.
Well, and again, you got to be cognizant of the clock, too, and that you need 17 yards on the next 2 plays.
Timeout, North Augusta.
And now North Augusta wants to take a timeout.
Yeah, what a game coming down to the wire. And, gosh, you just – I know if you're South Aiken, one of your, one of your, firing arms you got or whatever is Smith running the football, and you can't do it now, really. He's just not the same player, it doesn't look like, which is odd because he had the long touchdown run, but for whatever reason, whatever is bothering his hip or leg. Now, he has run a couple of times on this drive, and he did run it big on that 4th down play.
Well, regardless of what happens in the next 29.8 seconds, this is what they call an instant classic. And one of these 2 teams is going to want to watch the encore presentation of Game Night Live. That is coming up on Sunday at 1 p.m. over on WJBF News Channel 6. Always a great way to get your NFL Sunday started. I think I said 1. It's noon. High noon on Sunday.
Sandstorm come blowing through.
Yeah, the wind has kicked up a bunch of stuff from the parking lot. There we go, 3rd and a bunch. Smith being chased. Gets out of trouble.
Oh.
He'll have the first down, and Moore still on his feet.
Get down.
He's got to get down. The clock down to 17 seconds. He is down at the 25-yard line.
down.
16.3 seconds left, and Let's see if South Aiken, they'll burn a timeout here. 16.3 to go. Wow.
What a play.
He ran 65 yards to pick up the 15.
I'm sitting here, what a play. I mean, considering what he's dealing with injury-wise, man.
And we talked about, we don't know if the kicking situation for South Aiken, whether the kicker's hurt, but
they have not tried a field goal or extra point tonight.
That extra point would have been huge that they didn't go for, and they could have been just kicking a field goal to tie here.
South Aiken's kicker is James Etheridge, also their punter. Perfect on point afters this year, or points after if you want to be grammatically correct. But we have not seen him tonight. So it's 1st and 10 from the 25-yard line, but only 16.3 seconds left. You would think time to get off maybe 3 plays. But you've got to go quickly if you're South Aiken. The debate in the booth over the players of the game, it may change in the next 16.3. Smith over the middle, complete to the 15-yard line. Clock running inside the 10 seconds.
They stopped
9.4 left. They stop it to move the chains, and then South Aiken, will they go or will they spike? They will spike.
Now they're going to
can't spike out of the shotgun, can
they? Will they snap
that
the ball?
Rule's change. You can,
okay.
You can, yeah.
I think the problem is they snap the ball before they readied it
Got
for
the
play.
chain set.
Because I thought he was short initially.
The officials meet to talk about it.
Oh, no. Wow.
Oh, wow.
And it is a first down.
It's on North Augusta, right?
Penalties first down, penalties on North Augusta. It's going to be first and 5. That moves them to the 10-yard line. But again, only 9.4 seconds left. Time for 2 plays. T-Breds are going to have a shot at it.
The clock's running. They're
only going to have one play. This is it. Ball game.
Yep.
Incomplete.
Well,
the clock did have about 0.4 seconds left.
There was time on the clock. Yeah, there was time on the clock.
When the play ended. Let's take a look at this. South Aiken's, North Augusta is celebrating, but South Aiken's coaches are pointing at the scoreboard.
Yeah, they'll have another play.
And I believe they'll have another play. When I looked at the clock as the pass was incomplete, I saw 0.4.
Can they have a play with under a second, though?
Well, the pass is incomplete. It stops the clock, so you'd be able to run a play.
So the clock wouldn't start.
Yeah.
Well, Chris Hamilton shaking hands with Matt Quinn.
I think the referees are walking
the 35-yard line.
Oh, wow. Yeah,
I believe that's how this one's going to end. Oh, wow. What a thrilling victory for North Augusta, and what heartbreak for South Aiken.
Ooh, what a game.
Unbelievable.
What a game. What a finish, too. Came down to the wire, but again, miscues in this second half. South Aiken coughed up the football, a couple of penalties. I know that they were ailing a little bit with their quarterback, not quite in sync the whole game with the injury, but give North Augusta a lot of credit. They came in here and got it done.
Well, these are 2 old region rivals. This is the region overall opener. They will debate the ending of this one for quite some time to come.
Yeah.
And there will be a lot of eyes on it on the encore presentation on Sunday. But be that as it may, North Augusta is going to come out of here a winner, 24-20, and go to 1-0 in the region. The North Augusta Yellow Jackets a winner, 24-20 here at the Stomping Grounds. Bria Smith is with the victorious head coach of the Jackets, Matt Quinn.
That's right. Coach Quinn, you guys just won. First of all, congratulations. It was a great ball game. It was back and forth. Talk to me a little bit how you're feeling right now.
This is a great feeling, a big rivalry game, a TV game. It's important for our kids to see the hard work and the effort come through with a win.
What was going through your head? I mean, you guys, like I said, it was back and forth, score for score. But what is something you were telling your players, to kind of keep their momentum going?
It's the same mentality our kids have had all year, and that's just keep fighting no matter what the score is. Just keep fighting. Our defense played well in the second half, created turnovers. Offense found a spark there at the end. That's a great job by our team.
I know you're feeling great, but last year you all didn't take home the win. This year you guys are taking home the win. What does that feel like?
It means a lot. It means a lot to this community. It means a lot to the North Augusta faithful. It means a lot to these kids. We're just excited right now.
And what is something you're going to go into that locker room and tell your team?
I love them, and I'm proud of them.
Awesome. Thank you so much. Congratulations.
Thank you. Go Jackets.
Back to you, John.
Great stuff from Matt Quinn. A little
Love
Ed Orgeron there at the end. I like that. Well, I mean, AB, a first-year coach, they've struggled the first 6 games. To get a win in your region opener, that's got to be big for him.
Well, and the pressure that you feel, because you know how much that community supports that team, and they can be tough when they're not winning. They are outspoken. They can be tough. So, you've got the fact that they came in here and fought the way they did tonight and were able to pick up a win and really, especially late in the game, kind of shut down at times a really tough offense to deal with. You got to give them a lot of credit.
Nathan Edwards has the QBs by the quarter for an exciting fourth quarter, brought to you by Culpeper Ace Hardware.
Yeah, for South Aiken, Smith ended up 12 of 15 for 134, passing the football. He also added another 104 on the ground and a rushing touchdown. And then for North Augusta, may not be a player of the game coming here, but Colson Brown had a great game, 10 of 11 for 150 yards and 2 touchdowns and 1 interception. Really
solid. The interception – was his only incompletion. Pretty solid game from him.
Well, let's find out who those players of the game are. McDonald's offensive and defensive players of the game. Back down to the field for Bria Smith.
Yeah, John, so we're here with the offensive and defensive players of the game. Talk to me a little bit about how you're feeling. First of all, congratulations. You guys just had a great win.
I'm glad that everybody flew around, got to the ball, and I'm just glad we won.
What were some things defensively that you saw that you needed to do to contribute to your team's win tonight?
Well, number 1 and 10 are standout players, great players, so we had to key in on them, and once we shut them down, they really couldn't do anything. Great South Aiken team, but when we play our game, nobody can stop us.
And what is your mindset going into next week's game and just kind of coming fresh off of a win? How are you guys feeling about that?
We just got to keep going. We going to keep winning. Go to the playoffs.
What about you, Colyn?
I mean, we just got to keep our grind on. We've had a tough season, played a lot of great opponents, but I mean, we've been battle tested. So we're gonna continue to fight throughout every game. We're gonna see what happens.
How about it? Offensive and defensive players of the game. Congratulations to you both. Take your trophies. Back to you, John.
Our McDonald's offensive player of the game, DJ Curry. Defensive player of the game, Colyn Moore. AB.
Yeah, Curry with 25 carries for 135 and the 1 touchdown that was the game winner in the end. And for Colyn Moore, you could have looked at a couple of guys. Jay Neeson was great. There were several. Peyton Chavis played really well, but Colyn Moore came up with a big fumble recovery. He was all over the field making plays. A big quarterback sack in the game as well. So we go with Colyn Moore and a really, really good all-around effort by him.
Well, no Game Night Live is complete without our Powerade play of the game. Lots to pick from tonight.
Oh, man, we had 3 touchdowns of over 50 yards, a lot to go from. But this one was a good one. The tight end for North Augusta getting the long touchdown. They faked it to Curry, and Brown made a beautiful pass over the top.
Evan Waldauer with the long touchdown, and boy, that really got North Augusta going, and the celebration continues for the Yellow Jackets. It'll be a pleasant ride back down Aiken-Augusta Highway later tonight for these Jackets. And no school tomorrow. Well, remote learning, but no school because of the approaching inclement weather. If the administrators are listening, I did say remote learning. But, they don't have to go to school. You know what I meant. All right, let's get you the East Central Health District hit of the game.
Yeah, I'm assuming it's going to be the pass. Yeah, the pass across the middle. And watch this hit. Usually on a hit of a game, the guy goes down.
That didn't cause the fumble.
Amir Young, 2 weeks in a row, is involved in the hit of the game for North Augusta.
That's good stuff, good stuff. All right, final thoughts on this one, AB?
Well, I think, I give North Augusta a lot of credit. I thought South Aiken would be able to win this football game. I thought it would be close, but I think North Augusta, obviously Smith's injury played a factor, but you got to give North Augusta a lot of credit. They did what they do best with Curry running the ball. They worked in some short passes, and every now and then they caught him sleeping on a deep ball. And I think this was by far, in his 2 seasons, Colson Brown's best football game. If he plays like that, North Augusta, could turn this season around in a hurry.
I do want to mention, because of the adverse conditions, we had so much action in the fourth quarter. I didn't get to mention our wonderful crew that brought you this game here tonight on a special edition on a Thursday, battling the wind and everything else tonight. Our director, Kyle Thomas, our replay coordinator, Hannah DiArco, on graphics, Josh Recor, audio, Jeff Singleton, our camera folks, Akia Hawes, Katron Hugie, James Carroll, and Gary Nipple. Sidelines, Kaylee Foster. A red cap tonight, Scott Skadden. Running the live truck, Reggie Mackey. And master control back at Television Park, Levi Crawford. Don't forget, Football Friday night, a special Thursday edition coming up at 11:35 over on WJBF News Channel 6. We'll recap this one. Nathan told you a couple of great finishes across the area. Brendan Robertson will have that for you. And the encore presentation coming up of Game Night Live, high noon, WJBF News Channel 6 on Sunday afternoon. Another thank you to our sponsors, and for Bria Smith down on the field, Nathan Edwards, Ashley Brown up here in the booth, I'm John Hart. Again, North Augusta, a winner 24-20 over South Aiken. We will see you next Friday night for the 378 War from Washington.